Welcome back to The Curious Minds, Knowledge in a Nutshell. I'm Jakob, and today we're exploring one of the most intriguing places in the world, Vatican City. Despite being the smallest country on Earth, covering just 0.49 square kilometers, the Vatican holds enormous global influence. It is not just a religious center, but also a political powerhouse, an economic enigma, and a unique example of how a microstate can function independently. How did the Vatican become an independent country? How does it fund itself without taxes? What role does it play in international affairs, despite having a population smaller than a small village? Let's unravel the fascinating story behind the city-state that shapes the world. The origins of the Vatican trace back to the early days of Christianity. Rome was once the heart of the Roman Empire, and in the 1st century AD, St. Peter, one of Jesus' apostles, was crucified and buried where St. Peter's Basilica stands today. Over time, Christianity grew, and the Bishop of Rome became the Pope, gaining both spiritual and political power. By the Middle Ages, the popes ruled over vast territories in central Italy, known as the Papal States. However, this power declined in the 19th century when Italy unified and absorbed the Papal States. For nearly 60 years, the popes refused to recognize the new Italian government and remained isolated in the Vatican, calling themselves prisoners of the Vatican. This standoff ended in 1929 with the Lateran Treaty, signed between Pope Pius XI and Italian leader Benito Mussolini. This treaty granted the Vatican full independence, making it the world's smallest country, while ensuring Catholicism remained the official religion of Italy. As part of the agreement, the Vatican received a compensation of $92 million at the time, equivalent to over $1 billion today, which served as the financial foundation for rebuilding its economic influence. With independence secured, the Vatican became a sovereign city-state ruled by the Pope. Unlike any other country, the Vatican has a unique government structure. The Pope is not only the head of the Catholic Church, but also the absolute ruler of the Vatican. He is advised by a group of cardinals, and the city is managed by the Governorate of Vatican City State. Interestingly, Vatican City is not a democracy. The Pope is elected by the College of Cardinals and remains in power for life. Despite its size, the Vatican plays a major role in global diplomacy. It maintains diplomatic relations with over 180 countries, has a permanent observer status at the United Nations, and often mediates in international conflicts. The Pope's influence extends far beyond the city's borders, shaping social, moral, and political debates worldwide. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Vatican is its economy. With a tiny population and no natural resources, how does it sustain itself? Unlike other countries, Vatican City does not collect taxes. Instead, its revenue comes from 4 main sources: tourism, donations, investments, and the Vatican Bank. Millions of visitors flock to the Vatican each year, generating significant income through museum tickets, souvenirs, and guided tours. The Vatican museums, home to priceless artworks like the Sistine Chapel ceiling, bring in tens of millions of euros annually. In total, Vatican City's revenue is estimated to be between $300 to $400 million per year. Another key financial pillar is donations from Catholics worldwide, commonly known as Peter's Pence. This money supports the Vatican's charitable activities and administration. The Vatican also owns vast assets, including real estate in Italy, London, and other cities, contributing to its wealth. However, one of the most mysterious aspects of Vatican finances is the Vatican Bank, officially known as the Institute for the Works of Religion, IOR. It has been involved in multiple financial scandals over the years, but it remains a central institution, managing funds for the Church worldwide. Functioning as an independent country requires more than just money. It also involves logistics. Despite its size, the Vatican operates like a full-fledged state. It has its own postal service, which is considered faster than Italy's, its own radio station, and even a railway station, though it is rarely used. The Vatican has its own supermarket, pharmacy, and gas station, but these facilities are only accessible to Vatican residents and employees. Prices are often lower than in Rome due to tax exemptions, making Vatican City a convenient place for its citizens and workers to shop. Additionally, Vatican City has its own helipad, which is used for transporting the Pope and high-ranking officials on official visits. The Swiss Guard, a small but highly trained military unit, is responsible for protecting the Pope and the Vatican. Established in 1506, the Swiss Guard is the world's oldest active military unit, dressed in traditional Renaissance-era uniforms, but trained in modern security techniques. Originally hired as a mercenary force, they continue to serve as an elite protection unit exclusively for the Pope. Citizenship in Vatican City is another unique aspect. Unlike other countries, Vatican citizenship is not inherited. It is granted only to those who work in the Vatican, such as clergy, the Swiss Guard, and certain officials. When they leave their roles, they lose their citizenship. As a result, the Vatican's population is extremely small, with fewer than 800 residents, most of whom are clergy. Interestingly, the majority of Vatican citizens do not live within Vatican City itself. Many, including members of the clergy and diplomatic representatives, reside abroad, fulfilling Vatican diplomatic and religious missions across the world. Beyond governance and security, the Vatican is also a cultural and intellectual powerhouse. The Vatican Library houses one of the world's oldest and most valuable collections of books and manuscripts, including ancient texts from centuries ago. The Vatican Secret Archives, despite the name, are not entirely secret, but contain highly classified historical documents, accessible only to approved researchers. The Vatican also has a strong interest in scientific research. Because light pollution in Rome made astronomical research difficult, the Vatican Observatory operates a state-of-the-art telescope in Arizona, USA, allowing scientists to study the night sky with greater clarity. Despite its reputation for tradition, the Vatican has also adapted to modern times. It operates Vatican Media, managing social media accounts, live streaming papal events, and running a newspaper. The Vatican even has its own .va domain, a rarity among countries, and a dedicated YouTube channel. With so much influence and wealth, the Vatican has also faced controversies. Financial scandals, cases of corruption within the Church, and debates over its handling of historical events have drawn criticism. However, its role in humanitarian efforts, global peace initiatives, and interfaith dialogue remains significant. Ultimately, Vatican City is far more than just a religious site. It is a diplomatic, cultural, and economic hub with an outsized impact on the world. It is a country unlike any other, where history, faith, and power converge within a few city blocks. Next time you see the Pope addressing thousands in St. Peter's Square, remember that behind him is one of the most complex and intriguing states in the world. Next week, we'll explore another fascinating topic. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss it. Until then, I'm Jakob. This is The Curious Minds, knowledge in a nutshell. Stay curious.